Hello again from Conrad, Maldives, Rangali Island. We're going to show you a deluxe water villa, this one right here, number 346. It's the third one in from the end of the smaller island, the south end. You'll notice that these rooms have a ton of space in between them compared to the lower units. As far as the water villas are concerned, I think this is really the highest you can get besides going to the premier water villa and then moving on to the suites. But as you'll see in a second here, this really is a suite. All right, so as you approach, they have the contactless keys now. I'll just have the door open for you. So here's our first look at the room. It's 1,200 square feet according to the Conrad website, and has a vaulted ceiling with a fan. All of those doors open up. So anywhere you see glass over there, that can just open up. And we did a couple times. We opened it up completely, and there's a beautiful breeze through here when you do that. There's a better look at your view. And here's what it looks like with all of the doors open. And you can see that they just swing a little bit. You can lock them into position, but they fold up over here. And I need to lock that one down somehow. But anyway, that's what it looks like. And when you do that, you can control the fan over here and the air conditioner over there. Have fun with this. It's one of those, to me, nonsensical controllers. Anyway, we did figure out how to turn this on and off, by the way. That's a switch over by the bedside. And on the TV, they do have this device that's like a Roku, where you can rent movies and whatnot, and it also can show your itinerary, or rather your folio, and it gives you other information. It's actually not bad. Also, you can connect via Bluetooth or via AirPlay, so you can take your own devices and you can, I guess, connect up to the TV and the surround sound. Anyway, here you go. So you're inside, you're outside, you're inside, you're outside. All right, so let's run through some of the features of the room. There's your king-size bed, different from other rooms we've had here. It's actually up on a pedestal. That takes a little getting used to, but it's pretty cool that you're up high enough that you can look out and enjoy your view while you're in bed. So let's just take a peek out here real quick, just because it's so beautiful. You can see there's the hot tub, jacuzzi / plunge pool. We'll talk about that a little more in just a minute. All right, so let's run through this place. So they have a 42-inch HD TV, as well as a Bose sound system. It's kind of cool. They have this standard jack where you can plug in your, if you have an iPod or if you have a computer, and get music through the surround sound, because they actually do have real surround sound here with speakers around the room, and it sounds pretty good. Okay, speaking of music, one downside to this room is that you can look across and see the other island. You can also hear music at night. Specifically though, it's the DJ that you hear bass. I think it went until about 11 o'clock at night and then finally stopped, but it was a bit of a nuisance, but luckily it stopped. Other than that, you just hear lots and lots of waves. Okay, here's your mini bar, and a decent setup here with coffee. The espresso machine is right there. A tea kettle. Here are the coffee and teas available for you, and they replenish them as you go along. There's free milk inside the mini bar, but that's about it for free. So everything else in here, there's a charge. I think the little bottle of champagne there is $80. The water in the room is complimentary, and they'll replace that I don't really think there's any difference between the red and the green, at least from a content standpoint. So it's just regular old water. Anyway, there's your little mini bar. Here is your desk. And this room is different from some of the others in that they have this patch panel here that has a USB port. There are, if you have lots of devices to charge, there are some adapters in the bathroom. We'll show you where they are in just a minute. Over on the other side of the bed, there's something somewhat unique to this room, and that it has, compared to others at least that we've stayed in, it has this iHome alarm clock and charger. It has that charging mat where you can just put certain phones down and charge them, which is cool. So you don't even have to worry about USB. All right, so here's the view back this direction from your bed, and looking up, there are a couple lights above the bed. We found that the switches in this room are actually easier to deal with. Even though they're older, they're easier to deal with than some of the controllers that you'll find in some of the other rooms that are located right here along the bed. These are, I think they're just a little bit more straightforward, but I suppose with more time in those other rooms, we would get used to it. Okay, so there's your little living room set up there with this clever chair that looks like somebody who's just hanging out. And then there's the couch with some, they put fruit on here, and then there are utensils inside the small box with which to eat said fruit. Okay, so let's go back toward the front door, and we'll show you what the closet looks like. And it's got stuff in it, sorry, because we're still living here. All right, so the closet has drawers straight ahead. Also to the left down here, you'll find slippers, and then I believe this is a laundry bag. Yeah, laundry bag right there. And drawers for storage. We have some snacks in there that we brought along. We recommend that. And they have bug repellent. A couple of other shelves here going up. All right, in the closet, they'll have, hopefully for you, an iron just like this, and an ironing board. There's a luggage rack and a safe, a little safe, and then a couple drawers there that you can open up and put stuff in, and then put the suitcases on top, or you could try to put the suitcases under the bed, I suppose, if you're running out of space. Looks like there's enough space under there you could possibly hide a suitcase, especially if there are these collapsible kind that we travel with. That is by no means an endorsement of that product, by the way. We don't do that. Okay, so here's extra bedding and life jackets up there. Not to freak you out, but you know, there's a possibility of that here. We've never had to use them, thankfully. Okay, speaking of life jackets, one other small downside to this room is that its location is not ideal for swimming. This area out here, while it looks absolutely stunning and beautiful, there's a very strong current out there, and it will push you wherever it pleases. It's difficult to swim against it. So if you want leisurely swimming right off of your deck and down your stairs, this is not the room you want. You do not want any of these rooms, as I understand it, because they're all subject to the same rough current on the south end of the island. So keep that in mind. I wish I could demonstrate it for you, but I really can't. There's even a life preserver right there. They take this seriously. There's a warning over there outside telling you about it. Okay, so let's talk about more of the good stuff, including a funky light fixture that is always on. We could not figure out a way to turn it off. There's a light in the floor that powers this thing. So anyway, it just stayed on the whole time. One difference, by the way, compared to the lower water villas is that this room does not have the desk or the cutout in the floor that looks straight down into the water. That's not a big deal for us, but if that's something you really want, this is probably not the room for you. Okay, All right, let's talk about this bathroom right here. I'm gonna back up and just dramatize the entrance because it actually is pretty cool. This window is tinted, so it appears that during the day you can take a bath here and nobody's gonna see in. At night, that's a different story altogether. Ideally, there's nobody out there at night. I mean, during the day there might not be anybody out there because the current is so strong. Though we did see some people who were using those like jet-propelled James Bond style devices, and they were able to swim around out there without any issues. One way to increase the privacy, in the bedroom at least, if you're worried about that window, is you do have doors here that simply pull out. And so now with the blinds closed over there, those are the blinds up at the top. With those blinds closed, you do have complete, I would say, privacy in this room. So let's go back and open these doors again. And let's walk through the bathroom. Twin sinks, one on the left and one on the right. In the drawer, you will find a hairdryer as well as adapters to plug in the hairdryer. My wife liked the hairdryer here. She said it was sufficient, which is good. That's not always the case. They leave several amenities here each day, beginning with the Shanghai Tang bath soap, as well as some cotton pads, cotton swabs, and some dental floss things. And over by the bathtub, let's focus, you'll see a couple more of the amenities, which I think are specific to this room. I don't remember seeing the candles or the bath salts in the other room. Actually, I'm not even sure we had a bathtub in the other room. Honestly, don't remember. Anyway, so there's a shower cap, dental kit. What's missing here is a sewing kit that we had to break into. They didn't replace it, so sorry, you don't see that there. Bathing mitt, and then there are the bath salts for your super luxurious bath right here. All right, so to the right of your bathtub is a shower, and it's a quasi rain shower, but not really. Some of the updated lower level rooms have a real rain shower. This one is not quite that. For shampoo and bath gel and conditioner, they have these things here. On previous days, it was just a piece of wood in there, and I imagine they probably wasted a lot if they fell and whatnot. Anyway, but now they're pumps. The shelf is a little bit high for some people, I imagine, but it's not unmanageable. Okay, so there's the shower. Over here is the restroom, the toilet, as well as a nozzle over there for you. You can open the window if you wish from your toilet room for ventilation, I suppose. Not a bad view from the toilet. Here we go. All right, now it's locked. And we can show you now the other door. So this is kind of cool. So you have two ways to get out to your patio. There's both the main door over there, and then this door directly from the bathroom right here, which is kind of cool. Okay, so here we go. Let's go outside. And there's your plunge pool. This plunge pool is spacious compared to the lower level rooms. And that's a significant amount of space. Well, what's cool about it is that there are controls for bubbles, light, and heater. And so that can be a heated experience, or it can just be a nice, cool, refreshing plunge pool. Right now, they just had the service guys in here, and they were running it with some chemicals in it. So I imagine it's probably heated right now. We've kept it on the plunge mode most of our stay. Kind of cool with the rock garden. The lights light up at night. Those dome things, they light up at night. Those are lights. A little bit of a yellow light as well as a light that shines down and attracts the fish. All right, so here is your drying rack for towels and bathing suits and such. You're pretty much private here. You can see over to your neighbors, and I guess they could kind of see over to you, but I think you're mostly private. There is a bit of an opening, I think, right about here, where I can see the neighbor's plunge pool or spa, and they can see ours as well. But you move just a little bit, and I think you're back to being private again. That space I'm talking about is right about there. That's about it. Okay, so you have twin lounge chairs here with a nice big umbrella. And then you have a dining table. And then your walkway to the Indian Ocean. Oh, you have over here a little more space. It's not really usable for anything other than opening the doors and allowing for more ventilation. And here is your walkway down into the Indian Ocean. Again, the current here is super duper strong, so they don't advise that you swim here. But we've gone in and dunked our feet in a little bit. But swimming, we did try to swim just a couple strokes, and that was just not a good idea. Here's that light I was talking about. You can turn this light on in addition to your dome lights, and it does attract some of the fish. And then here's your freshwater shower for coming back in from the Indian Ocean if you choose to plunge yourself. So the fish views from here are actually pretty good. We've seen lots of rays. We have seen several large fish, a couple schools of fish, a handful of sharks, although the little sharks tend to stay, it seems, closer to shore. But nonetheless, there's a good amount of sea life to see from this deluxe room. All right, well, I hope that you've enjoyed our little tour. And if you get a chance to come to the Conrad Maldives Rangali Island, this certainly would be a nice choice of a room. Oh, I forgot about the robes. That's right, here are your robes. Twin robes. They're very much like stuffed animals. They're super duper soft. So anyway, if you do come here, this is a pretty good room. I think the only thing you should worry about is that if you really want to swim off your deck, this might not be a good choice. Perhaps I would ask whether some of the rooms that are closer to the island and not as far out as this one might be better or more conducive to swimming. Okay, so hey, if you like what we do here, please do subscribe. YouTube makes us ask for that. Sorry, had to get that dig in almost every time now. But yeah, if you like what we do, please do subscribe. If you have questions, just ask away in the comments. Thanks for watching.